Hey everybody, Nick here. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to talk about this ridiculous system that we're all stuck in. The fact that we have to make money, pay stupid bills all day, every day. We have to wake up, go in, and just have to deal with the nonsense. It's crazy how we have to give up our time to make some paper. Now I'm gonna say that I totally understand what you guys are going through. For those of you who do work the 9 to 5 rat race, spin on a wheel type of lifestyle, not making enough money to pay what we have to pay. Bills, rent, hydro, food bills, car payments, medical payments if you have a medical plan. And I just want to tell you that I know what a lot of you guys are going through. I lived most of my life in that system. I still kind of am. I do have to work a little bit and make some money so I can pay the man, which sucks, but I mean that's part of, unfortunately, this system that we're stuck in. And it's none of our fault. That's what I want to say first and foremost. It's none of our fault. Nobody asked here, first of all, to be born and brought into this realm that enslaves us to have to work jobs that we don't want to do. Now, I've talked about how the education system is also tied in with that. It's a rigged system. You go to university or college and you get out into the workforce and you can't even find something that you studied for. That happens a whole lot. And it's like this factory, popping out more graduates every year, and they can't find anything, probably because jobs are going away. They likely where they live, they don't want to. They can't find the job that they want to do, so they have to relocate to another state or province or whatever they call it in your country. And a lot of people, that's a tough choice, right? You got to have money to be able to move as well. I also understand that a lot of Americans, specifically Americans, but I've heard Canadians the same, and this is probably worldwide, don't even have like $200 to $400 in emergency savings. So any issue that would come up, you're screwed. How can we live in this kind of society? How can we live where everyone is just treated so shitty? And any day could be like, you miss one day of work, you're screwed. A lot of these companies don't want to pay you for 6 days. They don't want to pay you just if you have a medical emergency or if something happens in your life. They don't care about people. We're a number to them. So we're all slaves, whether we like to admit it or not. We are. And these companies know it. I bet if they could lower our salaries, they definitely would, if they could get away with it. But there's some certain laws that come into play and protects the worker. I mean, all I see is the wage gap shrinking, people not able to pay for their daily bills, putting food on the table. Some people have to decide between putting food on the table, like eating healthily, or paying their rent, or being able to have 2 to 3 meals per day, or heating your place in cold countries. It's really insane, in my opinion, how people have to go and choose that, are forced to decide that. It's not a just world at all. It's not a just system. And I'm going to get more into the system. This system that we have in place. And I'm also going to talk about what's the only way we can change the system, in my opinion. I'm sure you guys have your own opinions about how to do it, but But this system was put in place long time ago. And even before electronic stuff and the technology advanced, I'm sure there was a system in place where someone had to work and they get paid like pittance. No one was ever really paid well. Sure, there's still good paying jobs today, but you gotta work your ass off, or you gotta sacrifice more time, or there's always some sort of sacrifice in place, or that is required of it. For example, when you go to your 9 to 5 job, you're giving up time, you're giving up your life. That time, as we know it, goes and you can never get it back. This is the thing I cannot stand with working in this 9 to 5 system, is you give up so many hours of your life, your precious life, and you get paid pittance. You don't even get enough vacation time. You don't even get enough holiday pay or whatever it is. They don't respect you. A lot of these jobs, you're just a number. You're a drone there to flip burgers or whatever. And that's another thing. A lot of these college, university graduates have to get one of these jobs, otherwise they can't pay for anything. Then they're screwed, or they still have to live with their parents, which there's nothing wrong with. But who wants to live like this? There's so many people suffering in this system. And the other thing is the system, which includes the healthcare system. Most people can't even pay for, if they get, what do you call it, terminally ill, and they own a house and this and that, they're screwed. They're gonna go under. A lot of people end up claiming bankruptcy because they get ill, which is partially no fault of their own. And then they have to eat crap food because they can't afford the healthy food. The healthy food is more expensive. The organic stuff, which these elites definitely are eating. They don't eat junk food. Come on. They don't eat this feed that they give to the lower peasants. In their eyes, we're lower peasants. Come on. So this system was put in place long ago and is constantly evolving. They eventually want to just have people not working as drones. I've talked about the fact that work jobs will be gone within 10 years, which I talked about before. No jobs very soon. They'll still have some people having to do labor because not everything could possibly be automated. Now, I can only imagine, or I can't imagine, how many people are just constantly suffering every day, constantly under stress about worrying about money and paying bills, specifically in the United States, but it's pretty much worldwide phenomenon. And I don't know. I mean, I'm grateful in the fact that I don't have to worry about that. I'm not overly wealthy, but I make enough that I can push the bills out of my face until the next month. I don't know. I can't even imagine people who have pets, because veterinarian bills, as you guys know, is just ridiculously expensive, through the roof. I don't know. Canada's the same thing. So they treat everyone like a business, a customer, the health industry, which is, I think, just automatically no one should have to pay for that shit. I know in this kind of system that wouldn't work because it's all about money and profits, sadly. So I don't know. As for how the solution, I came up with this actually, I just dreamt of this the other night. And you guys may agree or disagree. The system is so far gone and so deep now, intertwined in our everyday societies worldwide. The banking system, the the monetary system, basically everything that involves money, is just so dug deep in, roots wise, that it would take a very strong offensive to take it down. And I don't mean violence or any of that stuff. And I don't think it would ever happen, because I would never bet on humanity. But it would take everyone, or most people, to just stop paying their taxes, stop going along with this prison-like rat race system, just stop going along with the madness. Everyone would just have to, and I understand there would be a lot of pain involved, a lot of suffering involved, but that would be the price that we would have to pay in order to just bring this system to its knees. Because it's just wrapped its tentacles around everything that we deal with. Everything that it's always money driven. Everything is money driven. So over the last centuries, it's just been getting stronger and stronger, this system, implementing in every business. Banks are so strong, they get bailed out, criminals, because they bet with our money. They're gambling with people's money, their mortgages. They're the ones that basically manipulate the prices of everything. They're the ones that create the inflation, and sometimes they artificially inflate the economy. The market crashes were their fault as well. But obviously there's a greater power that controls that. So it would take a really, really strong resistance against the system for it to crash. Imagine if 80% of people, even 60%, just stop paying taxes, stop dealing with this. Yes, I understand people will never do it because they're scared of what could happen, where will they get food. Everyone's just so dependent on this system now, which is really, really bad. Because they know that we will never rise up against it due to that fact, due to the fear of what could happen. How will I feed my kids? How would I put gas in my car? But all of these things are manipulated. The markets are manipulated. All these very wealthy billionaires control the top, they corner the market on everything. You got back in the day, used to be like the what do you call them? The oil barons and the sugar barons and all these, barons that control the production of in-demand products. It's no different today. They're just called oligarchs. And they buy up more stock. They own all of the resources of the world, pretty much. So they can manipulate the prices of these resources naturally. We would have to stop buying into these things. We would have to stop generating their earnings, which would make a huge dent in their riches. Sure, they own property. They have a lot of wealth, which is different from money. Wealth is like when you own property, you own resources. It's very hard. We live in a oligarchical world, which is the system that these created, or maybe the system created them. I don't know. What came first, the chicken or the egg? So really the only way to stop the system is that we all have to say no to this crap and stop buying the products. Who is the one that supports them? The people. They buy the products. They buy from these big companies. Look at Coca-Cola. They're so huge. They're probably in the trillions at this point. They're in the late hundreds of billions for sure. They make a ton of money. And you don't think they manipulate governments and manipulate banks, everything. It's this huge force that as long as the system runs on money and finances, they can control everything. It's the chains, money is like the chains around us. So, like I said, it's probably not going to happen. A lot of people would never want to risk that. There's a lot of people would suffer. A lot of people would, in fact, not make it because the system is so enveloped in our lives. But I think that would be the only way to bring it down. Really. It's like starving a creature. You'd have to starve it. And that's the only way to bring it down. I mean, maybe there is other ways. Maybe you guys have ideas. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Thanks for watching. Hit the like. And we'll see you very soon in the next video. Bye for now.